What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video on my channel. Today in this video, we are going to be finishing off the fishing script. So if you guys are excited, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button because only 58% of you guys are subscribed. I'm on the road to hit 5K subs. So yeah, I'd appreciate if you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Also, guys, don't forget to use code Twisle on iSignHosting.com to get yourself 15% off your first month. It's a great host, highly recommended. Let's get right into the video. With that being said, let's get right into the coding. All right, so the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna open up your config.lua file because there's a few things we need to add. So I'm just gonna copy this in because they're kind of lengthy things to add here and they're kind of redundant and will take a lot of time just to add. So just grab them from the GitHub if you guys are following along. We'll be adding all the fish items with their sorted rarity. And R stands for freshwater, O stands for ocean, R is actually just meant to stand for river, but yeah. And then we got fish areas, freshwater, saltwater. These are zones, so there's certain zones that you can be inside of, and that is what that is for. Okay, first thing let's build some logic out to actually use our fishing pole. So let's head down to our function for creating or using the pole. Right here are this event, use rod. This event is going to be where a lot of our logic is to start. So first off, let's do local. We'll do local fishing equals false. So we'll hold this. So we're going to use our fishing rod. If you use it once, then it's going to make you use the rod or start fishing. And if you use it while you're fishing, it's going to make you not fish. So pretty much we're just going to fishing equals not fishing. So it flips the value. That's just going to flip it to whatever it's not. Okay, next thing we're going to do also is we're going to cache the ped because we use the ped a lot. So we're just going to local ped equals nil up here. And then every time the rod gets used, we're just going to use player ped ID. We're just going to cache this in our script. Next thing we want to do is we want to clear the ped task. Clear ped task immediately because this is how we are going to stop the animation for the fishing. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to have a function up here too called local, or we'll just do function stop fishing. It didn't apply the local, but so stop fishing is just going to get called if fishing, if not fishing. Then we're going to do some cleanup logic here and we're going to return off this statement because we don't need anything else after this to run. So this is just a holder for now. Okay, next thing we need to do is we're going to set up a function of our own to get what zone we're in and get if we can actually fish in the area. So we're going to do local in water and comma, because this function we're going to use is actually going to return two values, and zone equals get fish zone, and we're going to pass through ped because we are going to need that. So let's go and actually build this fish zone native, or not native, our function now. So let me scroll up to my notes. Here we go. Local function, get fish zone. It's actually a pretty simple function. It seems kind of daunting at first, but it's actually really easy. So get fish zone, and we want the ped here. Let's just do player ped. All right, so first thing is we're going to need local chords of our ped. Local chords equals get entity chords player ped. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to need this forward vector. Local forward vec equals get entity forward vector. This is pretty much just if you think of the forward vector almost like the heading. So it just lets us multiply by a certain number to get a distance in front of the ped. So that's actually what we're going to do now. So we are going to do local point x. This is going to be our x point where our x of our cast is going to be, because we're going to be using a shape cast pretty much. So it's going to be chords.x. So we're going to get the start. And we're going to do plus forward vector.x. And we're going to multiply this by 10 because we're going to go 10 units out. So pretty much we're going to do this another 2 times and change this to y, change that to z, change it to y, change it to z, change it to y, change it to z. That's it, A. There we go. So pretty much that will get our points for where we actually want to do the cast. Next thing we need to do is local in water and cast points because we want to get this information. So we're going to do test probe against water, against all water, against water, It doesn't really matter in testing I've seen. I could have been testing it wrong, but I've noticed that oh, I didn't do all water in my testing actually. I just did water. So I'm assuming that it will work either way, but so next thing we need to do is we need to grab these three values here, our X, our Y, and our Z. So this is where our cast is going to start. And then this is where we actually need to grab these points here. And we can do some VS Code magic to make our lives a lot easier here. If I grab this and I hold Control and Alt and hit up arrow, I can then do Control Shift Alt and do the left arrow. It deleted one. And do these all at the same time. And I can do boom and delete that, add commas. So I can do like that to make it a lot easier. I can do the same thing here. But for some reason, I'm doing something wrong. But you guys get the point. You guys can delete them like that. And then we're going to minus the Z by 1. So it's it's a little bit lower than the ped. Okay. So that will now test and see if our point is in water. So next thing, we're going to set a default value of water type. Water type equals unknown. Because no, did I spell known wrong? Oh my gosh, if you guys know my streams, I am horrible at spelling. So next we're gonna get the zone type so we can save that so we know where we're fishing at. I just zoomed in a little bit for you guys. I kind of forgot about zooming in, but yeah, I just zoomed in now so you guys can see a little better. If in water, then zone equals get name of zone. These zones again are just areas on the map. You can see kind of here, there's a list of all of them. And this will help us kind of pinpoint where we are on the map. So cast point.x, cast point.y, cast point.z. So that will get what zone we're in. Okay, next thing we're going to do here is we're going to loop through all our zone lists. So we'll do we're going to check to see if it's in freshwater first. We're going to just do FW in iPairs, and we're going to do config dot fish areas dot freshwater do if zone equals freshwater, then water type equals fresh water, and we will break out of this loop. So we're going to do literally the exact same thing, but for salt water. For salt water, we're going to do salt water. Copy this over here. There we go. And we're just going to break out of that. And that is that. And all we got to do here is do return in water and water type. That's all you have to do to figure out what zone your fishing pole is in. So next thing we need to do is go back to where we're testing it down here. And we'll go back all the way down. Here we go. So we'll do if not in water or zone equals unknown. Then we're going to do a notify here. I got a little snippet here. We're going to do fishing. You cannot fish here. Type error. Duration 2500. Show duration. I always do true. And then we're going to return because we don't want any other code to continue after that. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to play a progress bar for when you're like casting the rod, give a little bit of immersion into the script. So we're going to do PC, which will be progress circle. So we're going to do if progress circle, and we're going to line this up a little bit. I like to line these statements up just a little bit to make it look a little more readable. And do that one next, and this one here. Okay. So duration is going to be kind of whatever you want. I found out that 1700 is the best because of the animation we've picked. Casting line, ... Use while dead, false, can cancel, might as well. Disable, move equals true. we'll do combat equals true. Okay, and then we're going to do an animation here. Anim equals, and it's a bracket, and it's a class of, or argument of dictionary, and it's going to be clip. I'm doing it like this because for some reason it never likes when I tab those myself. I'm actually going to copy these over from my notes because it'll be easier. But this is the animation. Just grab it from the GitHub if you need it. So we did it. Hooray. So let's clear ped task immediately so it doesn't keep playing the fishing animation, because I found out it likes to do that and it's really annoying. So then we're going to call a function called start fishing. This is a function we haven't set up yet, but we will. So we're all going to do level, and then we're going to do zone. Also, we're going to do a quick command here for you guys to do. So just type command. I don't know, you guys might have it. And we're going to do get, or we're going to do ocean. And this will be a little command for you guys so you can test to see what ocean or what zone, if you guys want to add more zones. Get name of zone. And this will just do get entity chords. And we'll do ped. And that will get you guys the zone, the ocean zone. Okay, next thing we'll do, let's set up the start fishing function, which is actually, like, when I was setting up this part of the script, I thought this was gonna be a lot harder, and I was actually really surprised on how easy this actually is. Local function start fishing. So we're gonna need 2 parameters. I forgot what they were: level and zone. Why do we need level again? Because level will tell us how the level is the level of the rod, by the way, just to make that a little bit more clear, because that literally just confused me and I wrote the code. So that just makes it a little more clear. And we're actually going to change zone to water type to make it a little bit more clear also. So first off, we don't need to do that. Am I caching the ped here? Okay, we don't need to do how I have it here. So again, we're going to set fishing, or not again. Why did I say again? We're going to set fishing to true, and we're going to set catching to false to make sure they are all set. Catching isn't defined yet. Catching is going to be our a boolean we're actually going to use a lot because it's going to help us with our loops that we have set up. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to freeze our entity position, and it's just going to be ped, and it's going to be true. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this long strung out thing of disabling movement. Here, if you guys need from the GitHub, just grab it from the GitHub. It just disables movement. These are all literally labeled too, so you guys know what's what. So if you want to change them, you can, I guess. You don't have to, but there they are. Next thing we need to do is this will keep running while fishing is true. So this isn't a constant thread, so don't even worry about it. And because it's a citizen thread, this loop will run and let other code pass past it, so that's nice. Like a while loop won't let you do that, but a thread will. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to set up player rod, which we don't have defined up here. Local player rod equals no. So we're going to set up, so we could have used a scenario, but I found scenarios will keep spawning a prop on the ground when you stop fishing. So we're just going to spawn our own prop so we can mess with our own prop management. So we're going to do player rod equals create object, and it's going to be the fishing object, which I'm just going to grab from here. From here. And we're going to do 0, 0, 0 for the coordinates. We're going to do false, false, false. There we go. And actually, I changed my mind. We probably should set is network to true so other people can see that you see your fishing rod, I think. I think that should be how it works, but I mean, I only tested this in my local host, so I didn't dual client it. So if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. It's not the end of the day. Attach entity to entity. Entity 1 is going to be our ped. Entity 1 is going to be our player rod, sorry. And entity 2 is going to be our ped. We're going to attach it at get bone index of ped, and the index is going to be 60309. That's the left palm. And I'm going to copy the rest of values over because they are, I don't want the video to be super long. It's just a bunch of zeros and a bunch of true, false, true, false, true, false. So it's there. It's good enough. Next thing we need to do is we need to make sure our fishing animation keeps playing. I noticed while testing, if they open their inventory, then it might kill the animation. So we're going to set up another thread here to manage the animations. And we're not going to use the same thread here because this thread is running at 0 milliseconds. We don't need to do that with the animation. We only need to check it every so often and not even worry about it. So first we're going to do if not is entity playing anim, entity being our ped. And so these are actually defined a lot. So we're going to call these anim dict. I'm going to make this a little bit easier for you guys because I rewrote this like 5 different times. Local anim clip equals idle b. Here we go. Is entity playing animation of anim dict and anim clip, and it's going to be a 3. Then we're going to request the dictionary, which we don't really need to do, but it's just a check to make sure that dictionary is actually loaded. The odds of it not being loaded are probably astronomical, but it's always a good check. We'll check to see if it's, or do a while loop, and we'll wait 100. Probably just do 1 because it's going to immediately load again anyways. And we'll just request it again here. There we go. So that will make sure it loads. And then here we'll do task play anim ped. And then it's the same dictionary clip. 2.0, 2.0, -1, 51, false, false, false. Don't know why that's doing that. Why is that one throwing? Oh, because there needs to be a 0 right there. There we go. So that works. And then here we will wait 5,000. We'll wait 5 seconds because we don't need it to run again. Okay, there we go. So that is to make sure our animation doesn't stop. So you might think, wow, that's a lot of loops, Twisle. But it's only because we need to check a lot of things, and it's not as resmod heavy as you think. It's only 0.01 while fishing, or 0.1 while fishing, whatever. So it's idle 0, so it's all good there. So next thing we're gonna do is our actual fishing wait time. So my fishing, or all my scripts for the most part, are I like to call them string scripts. So the scripts will keep stringing together no matter what. Or the jobs will keep stringing together, right, no matter what. Like fishing, you catch a fish, you just keep going. It doesn't stop you. You don't have to restart. And that's how I like to play when I'm playing FiveM. So that's how I like to do it. Let me check the recording here. We are only at 18 minutes. Good. Okay, so wait time for level 1 is equal to math.random. And this is going to be from 22,000 to 27,000, which is just 22 seconds to 27 seconds. Else, if level equals 2, then it's going to be similar to the same. I don't know. That makes no sense. 17,000, sorry, to 21,000. And pretty much the same thing here. But instead, it's going to be 10, 1, 2, 3, 2, 15, 1, 2, 3. There we go. And else, we'll print an error just in case here. Invalid fishing level. And then we'll return out of here. Okay, there we go. So that will grab our wait time. Next thing we need to do is actually set up the fishing itself. So next thing, I just said that, almost said that twice. So next thing, we're going to have to do another thread here. I know, a lot of threads. While fishing, I forgot to do that up here. Make sure you set while fishing to this this thread here. and my autocorrect whatever is not wanting to work. So this is where our wait time is. So we're going to wait that amount of time. We're going to do if not catching and fishing, then we're going to call function catch fish, and it's going to be water type. That's a function we haven't defined yet, so let's go ahead and define that function now. So here we're going to do local function catch fish, and it's going to be again water type. I know we're kind of throwing that variable around, but you could globally cache it in the script if you want to, but it doesn't matter too much, but it's up to you if you want to do that. So this is kind of a stupid function. So I'm literally just going to copy this over. So this function is just using boy minigame skill bar, and it's using a fish. That's literally all this whole function is. If you guys want to dynamically set the difficulty based on some sort of value, like based on the rarity of the fish, go ahead, be my guest. That's part of my tutorials I want you guys to expand. But yeah, you guys don't really, it's up to you. But I'm not doing it in this tutorial, but yeah, that is how that works. Next thing we need to do is actually go to stop fishing and finish this function off, which is actually one of the simplest function. We are just going to delete entity player rod, and we're going to delete freeze entity position ped false. There we go. So now if I go inside my script and hit that button, ensure it, press it, I can't fish here. I know I can fish here. You cannot fish here. I beg to differ. Okay, so I found the issue. Water type is incorrect. Water type is, I did a lowercase t on some of these, so that's why it was never actually assigning it. So if I actually cast it now, it actually works. And we're actually now fishing. I can't move. I'm spamming WASD. And if I wait a few seconds here, blah, 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 invalid fishing level, please shush. Why did it say that? Okay, so I found the error here. This is a 2 and it's supposed to be a 3. Just put it through a 3 and restart it. I mean, you can see it working here. But if I start fishing, it will actually start the fishing. And if we wait a few seconds for the actual fish to come in, you can see it only runs at 0.01. So that's pretty good while idling. So wait here. Here we go. And if I catch it, there we go. I catched it. Nothing happened because we never set anything up, but it obviously works. So I set up the giving the fish item function, but this is where I challenge you guys to do it yourself. So this part can be a little bit more difficult, but this is what scripting is about. I will post the code in my GitHub, so if you guys give up or you guys just don't want to do that part, you can. But I have the callback here to actually give a fish per the water type. But I would like you guys to try it out. So if you guys enjoys the video, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Have a great rest of your day, and peace out.